Hello, greetings, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Real Talk Show. I am your host, Dr. India White. I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. I know that many of us have so much going on. I hope you guys have had a great day today. I hope life has been treating you well. And with that said, my hope today is to talk about a couple of different topics that I think is relevant to everyone that is definitely doing their best to build um, balance and health and success in their lives. But before we get started, so I want to remind you guys of some, normal, uh, I guess, commercials here. So first off, the Real Talk Show with Dr. India White, it will be aired on the radio station Soulnet WKDH every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please tune in to soulnetwkdh.com to tune in. Now, in addition, the Real Talk Show will also be featured on Swain Girl Media Channel, hosted by Precious Swain. You can view it on Fire Stick, so make sure you tune in there as well. Also, if you are interested in doing work with me, following me, things like that, please make sure you visit my Facebook page at Miss India White. You can follow me as well at The India White on LinkedIn. My Twitter account is Indie Speak and Teach. That's INDIS. P is in Paul, EAK, the letter N in the word teach. My Instagram is Indie238. That's INDI238. And YouTube is India White123. So as I wait for you guys to chime on in, I wanted to just, kind of rehash on this weekend and the great times that I had in Tampa Bay as we did the holiday expo with Mrs. Karen Gilman and the team. We had a great time, great connections, great networking, and great follow up as well. I'm still kind of gaining my energy from that great event. And so I know that we are better together, and events like that are definitely worth attending, worth being a part of, worth networking in. So I'm very grateful. Thanks again, Karen and your tribe, the tribe, for that amazing opportunity. And so with that said, guys, I know we are preparing for the holidays and things like that. I will be writing blogs. I will be showing different things on my website. Please check it out. It's www.india-white.com. Check it out because I want you to be able to just kind of hear my heart and see all of the different things that I am offering, in regards to whether it's education or regards to business or religion, just all the different topics that I cover for you guys. So yeah. So, anyways, with that said, I'm super excited. I am ready to get started on the show today. I want to just keep it real with you. Is that all right? I want to talk to you guys today about basically balancing your life. Now, why in the world would I want to come on this show and talk about balancing your life? Well, um, how about this? I know that we're in holiday season. Everybody is busy shopping. Everyone is busy working overtime. Everyone is just dealing with life. And sometimes we don't know exactly how to juggle life effectively in a way that's healthy, in a way that really benefits us as individuals. And so, what I find is that people are starting to make wild decisions that can be detrimental to their health, to their careers, to their families, especially in the times of holiday season like Christmas and New Year's, which is right around the corner, and all these other fabulous holidays as well. So I decided to do some research and some homework with you guys to share with you some facts about just what it's like right now with people in the workforce and overworking and things like that, and balancing life tips strategies that all of us can really benefit from. So the first things first, um, studies found that 60% of Americans say they have a poor work life balance. Um, Most of it is due to a lack of boundaries that they have established. So, again, due to a lack of boundaries, I thought that was very interesting. In addition, you know, it says that employees take 20% of their work. Um, it says takes 20% of their work back home. Isn't that interesting? I thought that was very interesting that they would take, you know, 26% of their work, take it back to their houses, and therefore you now don't have that much more time with your family. So you go to work, then to just come home to continue working. So kind of defeats the purpose of even uh I don't know, um saying that you're going to have balance. So, how do we, I guess, come together as successful people and have a balance so that we're not working 85% of our lives away and that we don't have family time, we don't have quality time, self care time for ourselves? So, um, I don't know. It's a really hard um, goal to accomplish at first. I mean, I even looked and I saw that stats also showed in circadian.com that over 20% of employees they work 60% or more of overtime. I thought that was very interesting as well. So again, over 60% of employees work 60% or more, or over 20% of employees work 60% or more of overtime. Now, it also shows here, I mean, it's just rough. It says that 73% of WFH employees, they say that they enjoy a work-life balance compared to when they worked on site. The top reason was because they got to spend more time with their families. So here it's showing that a work life balance is imperative for the well being and the happiness of individuals just overall. And so it's very important that we kind of get this. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of Americans, we don't slow down enough, just in general, in society, in the globe. We don't slow it down enough. So some of us are getting off of one job, going into another job, going into a side hustle, going into this, going into that. And we don't even have enough time to get quiet enough to do introspection of what's going on within, internally, eternally. We don't have time. We just don't have time. And, they talk about chasing the good old dollar. And unfortunately, that is the reality of many successful people because I don't know, that's just kind of what happens when you evolve, unless you learn how to, of course, manage multiple streams of income, passive streams of income where you don't have to work as much, which is, of course, the goal of everyone. And so, with that said, it's very imperative that we figure out how can we spend more quality time with family. And so I wanted to now go into talking about even how not having a balance can even affect marriages and relationships. So ergonomictrends.com, which I will be referencing them quite a bit on the site today. Found some very interesting facts that they shared with us. And so one of them said that women with male partners that work 50 or more hours a week were found to be less satisfied with their relationship than those with partners who work less, um, or whose partners work less. So again, women with male partners that worked 50 plus hours a week. So their boyfriends, husband, whatever, worked 50 or more hours a week. They were less satisfied with their relationship than those whose partners worked less. Why is that? Because they're always at work. There's no quality time because they're always at work. And of course, that can definitely affect the dynamics, especially if there's children involved, then, it just gets sticky, right? So this is something to consider here, something to consider. Seems like it's just a tough situation. And now let's continue. So now we're going to talk about how work life can cause stress. Um, it can impact that balance that people are having. So it says here, ergonomictrends.com, it says employees that endure a medium to high stress, it costs the companies 26% more in medical costs compared to those with lower stress levels. Again, so if employees have medium to high stress, whether that's through anxiety, stress, depression, whatever they're dealing with, and they're going to cost the company on average an extra 26% in medical costs. So if you're an employer out there, you own a business or you're a manager or whatever, keep that in mind. How can you decrease those stress levels so that it can also decrease the medical costs that have been accrued by your employees? I mean, this is just something that we don't even factor in, but it's starting to show that we definitely do need to have that work-life balance, so that we also aren't being impacted medically. So I found that very interesting. I can tell you, I know I remember those times that I would work myself until my body would give. I could not wake up the next day. I could not get up the next day. And those are very realistic moments where reality just kind of said, uh, slow down. And I know many of us have been there where you're trying to save the world and another world, save the world and save every other planet in the universe. But the thing is this, you have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself. Your body can only take so much, and it will be honest with you. It will let you know if you're overworked and that you need to slow down. And then you need to just trust and believe that your creator did not set you up to fail and that he will provide. So, anyways, I digress. Let's keep going. So, let's talk about work, life, and stress again. So, it talks here, it says that 25% of employees say that their job is the number one stressor in their lives. Very interesting. 25% of employees stated that their job is the number one stressor in their lives. Check that out. So, these are just facts that we're going over here. So, I think some bosses, employers, business owners need to definitely keep that in mind, that when people are giving their best and they're producing, the last thing they want to do is to constantly have a load of stress over their heads, um, when all they're doing is doing their best, you know. And we'll talk more about that kind of stuff a little bit later. All right, so now let's keep going. So now we're going to talk also about how many hours people are working. Why is the stress accumulating? What's going on here? It talks about here, ergonomictrends.com. Check this website out, guys. It says the average worker is only productive, check this out, for 2 hours and 53 minutes during a workday. I found this very, very enlightening. And I almost didn't believe it. I had to revisit and I was like, wait, am I reading this right? It didn't say, I thought it said like, you know, I don't know, like not only 2 hours. I thought it was way more than that. So you're telling me people are going to work, doing all this extra stuff, and they're only productive on an average of 2 hours and 53 minutes of being at work that day. 2 hours and 53 minutes. So what are we doing with the rest of the time we're at work? It's probably filler stuff. Hey, thanks for joining. I see you joining. My friend. Okay, listen. So I wanted to look more into helping us out here. So, what kind of work models do we need? Looks like hybrid work models are starting to really soar and take off. So it says here a large survey by Prudential, which is a very prestigious career organization to work for, involving over 2,000 full time workers, shows that over 68% of American workers now prefer a hybrid workplace model. So over 68%. So we want to work online and we want to work in the office. So I think that was very interesting. And even look, it doesn't stop there. It says that you've got 39% of employees that would consider quitting if their current job did not allow for some type of remote options. And even 49% of your Gen Zs said that they would quit. Okay, I know Cato, I know you probably know about those Gen Zs more than anybody and how they are so quick to change on you. uh, it's hard to keep them focused and engaged. And it's going to take having various work model options for them to keep them engaged and challenged and motivated to want to work for someone nowadays. Because I mean, these kids, they can, they can get good at a video game, right? And start making money on YouTube, make a YouTube channel, on that game that they mastered, put a 6-hour video on there showing kids how to master that game, upload it, and go make their money. They don't have to work. There are students right now making probably $250,000, $500,000 easily by being a gamer, a professional gamer. And all they do is sit around and play a game. And they've mastered that art of passive income. And good for them. There are people that are doing, ads on YouTube. People are doing YouTube channels, vlogging, just living their lives and making all kind of money. And they're not doing anything. They're just being themselves. So it is very hard to keep those Gen Zs motivated. And that's why it said 49% of them said they would quit their job, and they would quit without a 2-week notice. I can guarantee they probably would. So this is something to consider regarding the current workforce and what's going on here. And I'm doing this because, again, all of us need to consider how can we establish a greater sense of work-life balance in these days, especially around the holiday season, because so many people are working because you've got your holidays to celebrate and people you want to get gifts for and birthdays, all kind of stuff. New Year, there's all kind of reasons why people are working 4 to 5 jobs. It seems like 2 to 3 jobs isn't even enough now for people. People are doing whatever they can. It's very interesting. And so let's keep going. However, on the flip side, we talked about remote workers. Look at this. It says in the month of April 2021 alone, check this out, around 4 million U.S. workers quit their jobs. 4 million people quit the job. That's the highest ever recorded number of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. 4 million folks. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I think also nobody gets the time we're in, right? We're all juggling so much. And I commend everyone that is going out and, going in the trenches and making a difference and making an impact, in particular in the world of education, and in the hospitals and things. So, but look at that. You've got 49% of Gen Zs are saying, hey, I'll quit my job if I can't work remotely. And then overall, you've got 4 million people just quitting their jobs. So society is just kind of everywhere right now. I don't know. I think we're going to need to take a couple of years to figure out where we're going to go from here. Oh, but speaking of working remotely and the success of that, look at this. Computer and mathematical fields report the highest incidences of working from home. So your computer geniuses, your math geniuses are math dorks like myself, 50.3% of them work from home. And that makes sense. I mean, it's all the trends and everything going on. That definitely makes sense. So thank you.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's another fact there. So with that said, I've given you guys some tips. I've talked to you about what's been going on in society overall, and now I want to talk to you about tips for balancing your life. So let's go there. Now, okay, so tips for balancing your life. I found this from essentiallifeskills.net, and you would say, why are we doing this? Because I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of my great friends and even myself, we've fallen into a trap of doing whatever you can, staying as busy as you can, staying as productive as you can, to the point of burnout, to the point of, I mean, you're about to tip over. And so I'm here kind of like saying, hey, reminder, balance your life. Okay. The job will be there even if you're not. The opportunities, they will come. Okay? You got to learn to take care of yourself first. Okay? And so, here are some tips I wanted to share with you guys. So, tip number 1, it says take care of yourself and nurture yourself. So, what do you do really? Think about it. What is your self-care? What are your self-care moments? I don't know what your self-care moments are. I don't know if it's receiving, a cup of a drink from your son. I don't know if it's, I don't know. Is it jogging? Is it walking? Is it exercising? Is it relaxing? Is it a massage? Is it the beach? Is it the mall? Some people, their self care is being around a lot of people. Is it travel? Um, is it picking up the phone and calling someone and speaking to them for an hour to 2 hours? Is it writing? Is it journaling? Is it playing an instrument? What does it for you? I'm going to be honest. If you have not figured that out yet, I would highly recommend doing that for yourself as a Christmas present. Figure out what it is for you. Is it acupuncture? Is it physical therapy? Like I don't know. Figure out what it is. Is it salsa dancing class? Is it kickboxing? Kickboxing is really fun, by the way. A lot of energy, a lot of exercise. It's a win-win. Okay. Anyway, figure out what it is. Take care of yourself and nurture yourself. Number 2, know what your priorities are. Okay. This is tough. The way I do this, guys, I found I have to write a to-do list and stay on it. Because if not, I have a to-do list and I've got 7 items. If I don't stay on that to-do list, guess what? 5 other items pile up, right? Last minute. I'm busy with those 5 items and then I never got a chance to do items 1 through 7. So keeping yourself organized and saying, I must prioritize these 4 to 5 things I must get done today, no matter what, no compromise, and I'll get to everything else later. And if that means I have to rebook this or reschedule this or whatever, I've got to do what I've got to do. So I want to encourage you that if you have not learned how to yet prioritize, get a journal, buy a journal, buy a calendar book, something, and go at it, work it, be intentional. And so now the next thing, create an efficient mindset. So, what are some things that you can do to be efficient in your work? Working smarter, not working harder. Okay. Do you have resources? Do you have people? Do you have a team? Do you have to do it all? Do you have people to help you? I mean, if you're looking at, editing something, for example, which I mean, this does depend, but if it's just like something simple, grammarly.com is great and it's free. Use that. Just, I don't know, just developing different strategies for you to remain efficient so you don't have to do it all and reproduce everything. Have people help you. One thing I love to do is I love to get people that are competent, confident, and that aren't, or that are a part of my tribe, which means that, when I say that they're part of my tribe, we help each other win. They help me win. I help them win. We accomplish goals together. We get things done together. I like to see them celebrate things. I celebrate with them. They celebrate with me. Tribe. Okay. There's no bad blood. There's no craziness. There's no like hidden agendas, no sabotaging. It's just great, great people. And there are a lot of them out there. Anyways, one thing I like to do is I like to reach out to my tribe and find people that are talented and skilled in things that I am not. And I like to give them that opportunity to really shine and soar and to develop their craft. And I give them that audience and I trust them. I trust them with an assignment or something that I've got to get done. And I'll say, hey, I trust you and hey, I want to see if you're willing to do this and then I can do that. And then together we can get it done. You get so much more done together when you do that versus by yourself. I like to say a solo is great. A soloist is great, but an orchestra is amazing. A soloist is great, but when you have that symphonic orchestra playing, it's amazing. And the thing is, when we get into that mindset of we are better together versus I've got to be like this strong rock star and soar by myself. When we get in that mindset, we're better together, guys. I tell you, you're unbeatable. You just have to find your tribe. Okay. And don't be upset at other people because they've got a phenomenal tribe. Go find your own tribe. Or if you can't find a tribe, see if you can join their tribe. But whatever you do, just know that you're better together. Okay. There's so much you can accomplish, with others versus just doing everything by yourself. Anyways, I digress. Now, the fourth tip of balancing your life. Okay. Expect the unexpected. So, this is great because I was taught by a very wonderful man. He said, life comes in cycles. Life goes up, down, up, down. When you accept that and then you can expect the unexpected, it won't throw your entire OODA loop off. You won't be totally out of your psyche, but you'll be able to say, you know what? That happened, but all is well. Things are going to work out in my favor. So with that said, expect the unexpected. And then take a look at this last one. Maintain a positive mindset. Maintain a positive mindset. So I want you to just take a moment to think about that and share out any thoughts you have. Okay, so like I said, maintain a positive mindset. I always talk to you guys about a person that I had associate who, whenever she was going through stuff, she would say, it's going to get better. Things are going to get better. I know it's going to get better. I'll see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be okay. Developing a positive mindset is the most important thing you can do because the battle is in the mind. Listen, we're all going to be trusted with crazy trials that we didn't expect, financial troubles from time to time, family situations, whatever, careers, whatever, things happen. But if you decide this was not made to take me out, this will not destroy me. This is only a nugget to develop me. I am going to go to the next level. Thank you, sweetie. Then um, you'll start to see success happen for you. All right, guys. So yeah. So anyways, like I said, developing a positive mindset is definitely the way to go. Excuse me for my okay, cool. That's much better. Sorry. So, if you're trying to figure out, okay, how can I start from scratch in developing a positive mindset? First thing you have to do is you have to choose not to allow the world to cave underneath you. So, if you are dealing with a tragic situation, a loss in your family, uh, a diagnosis, financial troubles, I don't know, just some kind of transition that you did not expect. Don't allow your emotions to cave underneath you, and don't allow that situation to cause you to make an instantaneous move where you're like, "Oh my gosh, life's over." And you just, you lose it. You can't do that. Okay? When you understand that you have destiny and purpose, okay? you'll choose to see that something great is still going to happen. You are still bound for greatness. Okay. I hope that encourages you, because the way you do that is by developing a positive mindset and saying, you know what? The best is yet to come. No weapon formed against me is going to prosper. I know I'm going to come out of this on the other side. I know tomorrow will be better. Okay. I choose to have joy. It's going to be okay. Sometimes you really literally have to pat yourself on the back. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You got to shake yourself sometimes. It's going to be okay. I got this. We got this. Literally. Because sometimes life will say, kapow, deal with it. And then you're stuck. You are stuck at rock bottom. And you've got to say, you know what? I'm not caving. I am not caving under this. Right, Natalie? I'm not caving. Right, Marlo? Right, Kato? I'm not caving. I will not. I will continue to be great. I'll continue to move forward. I will see myself cross over. Yes, you do. And like Natalie said, you have to literally choose joy. Okay? You have to. Because if you, the problem is this. This is the problem with society. We get bad news. Something happens. And then it's like our mind just goes to this place. It's over. And you get these thoughts. It's over. Who said it was over? Who said it was over? Who told you that? You cannot believe that report. You have to literally say, no, I'm going to go on the joy of the Lord. The joy of the Lord is my strength. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. This was not my fate. This is not my final fate. Nope. I refuse to believe it. And when you choose to have a positive mindset, nothing can defeat you. I have learned, guys, this is tough to do. And I got this from, Papa Arnold, but learning to say thank you when it seems like there's nothing to be thankful for. You're in the worst situation of your life. And you're like, God, thank you. It could have been worse. It could have been me. At least I'm still here. There's a lot of things, even if you're dealing with a health situation, it could be worse. You could be gone. Okay. And then if you lost somebody, you could have lost more than one person, right? We've seen those stories. You lost finances. It could have been way worse. So if you lost health, so when you think of that it actually, I feel, is God's grace that says, I know how much you can handle. So therefore, I'm not going to put on you all of this mess. I'm just going to let you endure this little bit. And then you trust him with that trouble. Okay. You'll know that you're going to come out on the other side. Okay. I'm a woman of faith. You know that. And there's a scripture, it says, though he slay me, yet will I trust him, but I will maintain my ways before him. So you choose to remain faithful. You choose to remain hopeful in the face of negativity, in the face of hopelessness, in the face of your mistakes, those big mistakes, the ones that everybody knows. It's so funny because it seems like the people that make the greatest impact in life have the most controversial issues tied to them. There's always something that you can find about that person, and you can eat them for lunch real good. You'd be like, you know what? Did you hear about so-and-so? Oh, girl, yes. Such and such and such, right? But it's fun because it's I think it's just a way of you shining and also God getting glory from your situation, And that's why I'm saying choose to be positive. Choose to have a positive mindset. I always say this too. You never know how quick your life can flip. Okay. Y'all already know my story. I literally went from a homeless shelter to my mentor, Vicky, driving me 3 hours north into a college dorm in a moment. I went from being a homeless student, ward of the state, whatever, okay, to a college student at the University of Florida. Everything changed in 3 hours. Your life can change in a moment for the better. And so, if God can trust you with your trouble now, can He trust you with the joy and the celebrations and the victory later? Okay. Sometimes you have to go through this test first in order to then cross over into the greatness. And so, with that, I want to encourage you. Okay. Now, I want to talk about something else because we've been talking about work and different things. And so, I want to talk about some challenges that people are probably facing. I want to talk about workplace bullying. So, why am I talking about this? Because I talked about balancing your life, and sometimes you're dealing with emotional things as well that you're taking on that you probably need to reconsider how much you want to take on this. So, this says the Workplace Bullying Institute defines workplace bullying as repeated health harming mistreatment of one or more persons by one or more perpetrators. And so some of the things that, workplace bullying involves is the undermining or intentionally impeding of somebody's work, removing areas of responsibility without cause, constantly changing their work guidelines, designing impossible deadlines to incite individual failure. I got all of this from intradin.com. I found this very interesting because when you're dealing with trying to balance your life, but yet on top of it, you're dealing with things like this, you got to learn to balance how much mistreatment you're willing to take for a paycheck. Because the most important thing is not the paycheck, but it's your mental health, your emotional health, your well being, your spiritual health. Okay. And so I wanted to put this out here because I don't even know if some employers even know about workplace bullying, that this actually exists and that people do this, because this is all that subtle stuff that people take. And then all of a sudden that employee snaps out on somebody and they're like, whoa, where did that come from? Well, here you go. And so in order to really take care of yourself, you have to make sure that you're not allowing people to just step all over you like a doormat. Some of the other things they talked about with workplace bullying, people spreading malicious rumors about you, gossip or innuendos, people employing intimidation techniques, threatening you, perpetrating physical abuse, deliberately excluding you, or isolating someone socially. So there's some type of event and they don't want you there. They're trying to intentionally isolate you. All of these are factors of workplace bullying that can affect your mental health, which can then affect your overall work-life balance, because sometimes you'll take that stuff right home and then you're snapping out on the loved ones that were waiting for you all day. And they're like, why are you upset with me? I'm not upset with you. And it's not you, but it's what's been going on. And so you've got to learn how to categorize the different mistreatments that you're going through and report them ASAP so that it does not carry over into your everyday life. So, how do you prevent workplace bullying? So, it talks about how bullying, it takes place between equals, but also between people in different power structures in an organization. So, you have to make sure you examine first all the levels of the company to see if there's a safe place there for you. They talked about how one thing the company can do is establish a zero tolerance policy, and really not just establish it, but implement it and uphold it with fidelity. So if there's a complaint that's made against like management or other employees or whatever, it has to be taken just as seriously as if it's an interaction between employee, because favoritism, it undermines. So I found that was very, very interesting, because this is something that is truly impacting people, especially during these types of seasons as we're going into the holidays. There's a lot going on, right? And so if you find that you're dealing with something like this, I want you to be able to kind of relax, take a step back, do some self-care so that this stuff does not overwhelm you and overtake you, because you're worth more than that. Also, making sure that you're establishing your worth with people that you're around, as you're doing that work-life balance, making sure you have boundaries, that you said that you're going to go home at 4 p.m., you go home at 4 p.m. and not at 5:40 p.m. like you've been doing the last 3 weeks. It's like just making sure you're putting those deadlines in there. And so with that said, that's going to lead me into talking to you guys about how do you teach people how to treat you. So first things first, you got to start with yourself. How are you treating yourself? How are you taking care of your health? How are you taking care of your physical well-being and the way you come off to other people? Are you putting emphasis and are you being intentional about the way you're appearing to others, the way you are interacting with others? Um, Something to think about. So starting with yourself, talk about the rules of your engagement. So when you're speaking to people, are there norms? So here are the norms of this meeting, or here are the norms of this conversation, dealing with tone of voice, dealing with, expectations of not cutting someone off, not cutting me off in the middle of a sentence. That's not being forceful. That's just being um that's being confident, and that's being assertive. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Also, communicate your needs clearly and compassionately. So I got all of these little nuggets from psychcentral.com. These are imperative when you're talking about treating people or having people treat you the way you want them to treat you. I say this because sometimes some people, they'll meet you, and for some reason, you might have an aura about you where they assume that they can step all over you and they can mishandle you. And so there is nothing wrong with coming back to the drawing board, and telling them, hey, let's get some norms, and let's establish some things here so that we can play fairly and have healthy conversations and have that respect established. Okay. Now let's keep going. So another couple of tips here for teaching people how to treat you. It says model how you would like to be treated. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're just not sure because they've always gotten away with treating you a certain other way. And so now that you're demanding a greater level of respect, um, you have to kind of train them and help them understand that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Also, step number 5, reinforce the behaviors that you do like. So if they do something, they talk nicely to you, say, hey, I loved that tone of voice that you used when you spoke to me like that. Thank you. Please repeat that. Or I appreciate how you opened the door for me, or I appreciate how you knocked before, entering the door, just different things like that. Okay. Step number 6, picking a role model to emulate. I was a little about this. And I would say, because I think one of my pet peeves is when people emulate you so much that they want to like duplicate who you are, and they lose their sense of originality. And then it just becomes really weird because they're like a mini version of somebody else, and they don't even do the job well. So I would say be careful with this, because uh, yes, I would say pick someone to emulate to start, especially if you don't have confidence in yourself. Um, to have your own confidence, whatever. Yes, you could kind of learn from that person and model what they would do. But I would say, honestly, eventually figure it out quicker than later who you are. Stand on your own ground, have your own personality, have your own way of work. Of course, that's like conducive and civilized, and then rock that. Because I still think that picking a role model, to me personally, I just think that takes away from who you are as a person. And I will agree to disagree on that with Psych Central. So, and then here, number 7 says have realistic expectations. So, yeah, this is great, because if you're wanting them to treat you the way you want to be treated, understand the foundation of the relationship, understand the dynamics of the relationship, and be realistic. Um, if they're abusers and they just don't know how to treat you, they're dealing with biases, they're dealing with issues, stop expecting them to treat you like you're Queen Elizabeth, because it's not going to happen. Okay. So with that said, I digress, and I'm going to now share my wisdom with you to kind of wrap up this show of how to have people treat you the way you deserve to be treated. So, step one, never allow someone to mistreat you because of how God created you. So, maybe your skin color might be offensive to some people. Don't allow people to mistreat you and to talk derogatory names to you. Maybe your hair texture is a little bit different. Don't allow people to make you feel like you're not as beautiful as you are because they have a different preference. This is very important because unfortunately, society has a way of implying that certain cultural traits or certain ethnic traits are more beautiful than others. You got to be careful with that in assuming that that means that you have to adjust who you are. No, you don't. I I want to empower everybody out there. Be who you are. Be who God made you to be. Don't try to clone or copy or duplicate someone else so that you can get a certain type of guy or a certain type of lady, or just be who you are. And I honestly think that if you are who you are and everything is aligned within you, the right person will come and they will love you for who you are. Okay, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to look like um, the latest supermodel. All right, so um, with that said, let's keep going. It says here also, my wisdom, uh, never feel ashamed of who you are. Exactly. So this is tough because society has a way, and Instagram and social media, um, some of these social media sites, you'll see certain posts on there, and you're like, okay, if I'm supposed to look like this, right? Or okay, if I'm supposed to make this type of money. Like, so there's all different types of things. And so you gotta make sure that you don't feel ashamed of who you are because of the different advertising and the messages that you're getting from television, social media, and from others in society. Okay, tip number 3, you're not defined by your past mistakes. Um, Another nugget with this, if you're around people that are constantly defining you for your past mistakes, run for your life. And remember this, they don't deserve your company because if they can't see you for the potential that you bring to the table for the future, and they don't see you for your unique traits and gifts, why are you allowing them to constantly drag you through the mud with your past? I don't understand. If you only live once on this side, right? I believe we all live twice, but I believe once on this side. Why would I then waste and exhaust my energies to people that are emotionally abusive by constantly reminding me of my past, judging me, keeping me out of opportunities to grow and to contribute because all they can see is who I was 10 years ago. That's fixed mindset. Okay. When people have fixed mindsets, they're abusers. Okay. It's not good. Fixed mindsets, you want to run because they can't embrace you to be greater. They can't embrace change. Okay. And they demote you, they limit you. Okay. I I think it's a pet peeve of mine, people with fixed mindsets. Okay. Because I think that they're a part of a bigger problem that unfortunately has continued to exist, um, just as we've tried to evolve as a human race. Anyways, I digress. So you're not defined by your past mistakes, okay? And then also, um, never wish to be someone else. Never wish to be someone else, okay? Um, I read a sad article the other day of a child playing with. He was a student of color playing with his father, and he had an incident where he came home from school and told his father, "Hey, can I just paint myself a different color so then all my problems would go away?" That to me was gut wrenching. That a child, and this is a K-5 child, would say, "I want to paint myself a different color so all of my problems would go away." And that's the problem. People are wishing too much to be someone else when I personally think they're amazing just the way they were created. And so, if you do struggle with that, just understand that if you were supposed to be that color, if you were supposed to be that race, you would have been. And I think that, you know, it's sufficient to be who you are. And that's what that's who you are. You know, don't apologize for it. Don't regret it. Own it. Okay? Love it. Shine in it. Shine through it. Because we need you. We need your uniqueness. So never be ashamed of yourself. All right. And so, with that said, guys, I hope you guys have had a great show, time of the show. Make sure, again, that you are balancing your life. We need you. Okay. If you're working 1,000,000 hours overtime, take off 500,000. I'm just saying. Okay. I don't know what it is. However, you need to find balance, find it. Find your outlet. Find your self care. Okay. Make sure you're putting your boundaries there. Make sure you're not taking on a lot of mess as the great person you are, contributing to society in your careers or in your business, whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. So, again, balance your life and own your greatness and don't ever apologize for who you are. And so, with that said, guys, thank you for tuning in to the Real Talk Show with Dr. India White. Again, I'm going to leave you with some nuggets about the show. Again, the show will be aired on SoulNet WKDH radio station every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So visit www.soulnetwkdh.com to tune in. Okay. Follow me on Facebook. I love it when you guys follow me. I've been seeing it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your emails and everything. So my Facebook is Miss India White. That's MSINDIAWHITE. LinkedIn is The India White. Twitter is Indie Speak and Teach. That's INDI, P as in Paul, EAK, the letter N, the word teach. Instagram is Indie238 and YouTube is India White 123. So follow me. Let's keep in touch, please. If you're wanting to be on the show, or you even like to donate to the show, please email me at india.white.123@gmail.com. Also visit my website at india-white.com. Okay, so that I can receive your requests as well. Okay. And so with that said, guys, it has been a phenomenal show. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that you have a wonderful time as you prepare for the new year and prepare for this holiday season and family time or more work time or, just evolving into the new you. I don't know what your plans are for the holidays. I don't know what your plans are for family, but just know that you are valuable, you matter, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you tuning in, and I just wish you nothing but the best. And hey, if you're wanting to link up with me, feel free to send me an email at india.white.123@gmail.com. If you need a speaker, if you want a copy of a book, a blog, you want to look at a course, whatever, then reach out. Okay. You can go to also www.india-white.com to find out more information. And again, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. And I'm hoping that, I can continue to answer all of your emails and get to all of your requests. I know some of you are wanting to be on the show. Continue to send me the information. Let's get you booked sooner than later. Okay. With that said, guys, have a great night. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Keep your work-life balance in check. All right. Until next time, take care, guys. Bye.